For years, Asamiarts made a lot of money from commissioning artworks on VGen and her social media platforms. But she had a secret that went against VGen's policy and broke the trust of her clients. She was AI tracing her artwork. And in the art community, that's a cardinal sin, especially when you lie about it, and that was exactly what Asami did. The thing is, Asami got so comfortable using AI that her artwork had obvious errors that are almost impossible for humans to make. For example, in this artwork she posted, you can see the muzzle at the back of the gun. Like, who draws a gun with the part the bullet is supposed to come out from facing the person holding the gun? Let me set the record straight. AI tracing isn't bad in itself. Some artists use it to practice, but Asami's problem was that she claimed her artworks were all fully hand-drawn, when they were obviously traced over AI bases. The lie was the problem. For years, she got away with it until an artist called Teru exposed her, leading to the biggest art scandal on X. I am talking about a masterclass in exposing AI tracing. And when Asami tried to prove that could hand draw, she exposed an even bigger lie that nobody saw coming. I will take you through everything you need to understand this case fully. But first, let's see where it all began for Asamiarts. Before changing her name to Asamiarts, she was known as Drawing Asami, but nobody really knew her work under that name, and her X account got suspended. For most people, that would have been enough to disappear quietly, but Asami was different. She came back in 2024 with a new name, Asamiarts, and this time something clicked. Whatever didn't work before, worked this time, and that was the start of her successful career. Her account grew rapidly. I mean, she got over 80,000 followers on X in roughly a year and a half. And with her newfound success, she opened commissions on a platform called VGen. I'm going to explain her activities on VGen later on in the video because it matters to the story. At some point, her story started to take an unexpected turn. People noticed that her art style changed, and it changed multiple times. First, her art reportedly looked close to the work of an artist called Ojipote. Later, it shifted to resemble the work of a totally different Japanese illustrator named Ixi. And what was strange was that each time her style shifted, a lot of her older artwork disappeared from X. Now, the truth is, changing art style is not a crime, and it is normal for artists to study other illustrators, absorb techniques, and evolve. I think that's how most artists basically grow. But what actually made her different was how sudden these changes happened. There was no in-between phase. One moment, she had one style, then seemingly out of nowhere, she had another. This pattern caught the attention of Teru, an artist known on X as Teru Pancake. On December 1st, 2025, Teru posted a tweet that completely turned Asamiarts' world upside down. She said, "Asamiarts is tracing AI. This is an account with nearly 100,000 followers who has been taking dozens of commissions through VGen. Here is the evidence." They accused Asamiarts of tracing AI images, and the post went viral with over 6 million views. For evidence, Teru gave us one of the most detailed and well-organized Google Doc ever created for a scandal. After the post went viral, VGen immediately came under fire for obvious reasons. Asamiarts was earning commissions for artworks on the platform, and they didn't do due diligence before monetizing her profile, but you won't understand why VGen got seriously roped into the situation without first understanding how the platform operates. VGen is an online commission marketplace and hub that connects VTubers, streamers, and content creators with human artists, graphic designers, writers, and editors. It's a marketplace built by artists, for artists. VGen guarantees their clients that all their artists are legit because they go through a thorough verification process. And look, the verification is not a stamp they hand out to anyone who signs up. To even qualify for the verified badge, artists need a minimum follower count, a minimum amount earned, multiple client reviews, and a 4.6 artist rating. After all of that, a member of the VGen team then reviews the application to see if the artists qualify, and the entire process can take 2 to 3 months. So yeah, it's really thorough. But the part that's relevant to this story is that VGen has a no AI policy on their platform, and they take this seriously. So it was surprising that their strict verification process could not detect that Asami was AI tracing. When the accusation dropped that someone on their platform traced AI generated bases and sold them as fully hand-drawn commissions, the platform was seriously implicated. According to Teru, VGen's failure was already frustrating them well before they called out Asamiarts on X. Since it's been over a month and VGen did nothing about any of the multiple AI accounts I reported, I really have no choice but to warn people on Twitter instead. I'm not sure what other evidence they want you to submit to take action on AI tracers on their platform. Well, that gap between what VGen promised clients and what happened with Asamiarts was why Teru took the case public, and the 41-page Google document they made covered everything. So let's get into the document. Teru opened by saying, "I don't like making docs like this. I don't like accusing people of AI, and I hate scrutinizing others' art or questioning their skill. But at the moment, Asamiarts is taking $120 commission through VGen while blocking anyone who questions if they use AI. But before we get into the technical details, Teru gave a list of general red flags that show up over and over with AI tracing artists. The first point was that the account is unusually recent, with no older socials anywhere you can find. But to be fair, Asamiarts does not fully fit this one since her account technically traced back to 2022. The second point was that her artwork got deleted whenever somebody raised AI concerns about it, or those comments just got ignored. The third point was the sudden, drastic shift in art style with basically no visible transition period multiple times. The fourth point was specific to Asamiarts. A huge chunk of her older art got deleted right around the same time her style shifted toward resembling Ixie's work. The fifth point was a sudden leap in technical skill, the kind of jump that's genuinely hard to explain unless you've got months of visible practice sitting somewhere in between. And the final point was refusal to give solid proof that they were not using AI. Instead, they repeatedly deflected and ignored. At one point, Asamiarts was invited to draw live in real time on a shared browser canvas tool called magma.com, a website where anyone watching can see every single stroke happen live, no editing. According to Teru, she declined and said she did not have to prove herself to anyone. I must say that declining that invitation did not automatically mean Asamiarts was guilty, even though it looked suspicious. But Teru framed the refusal as one more piece of evidence stacked against her. Now that I have shown you the red flags used to spot AI tracers, let's get into the core of the document. The next piece of evidence that Teru gave was the time-lapse videos. Here's a quick explanation for anybody who does not draw digitally and might not understand what a time-lapse video is. A lot of artists post time-lapse videos as their go-to proof of process. It is basically a sped-up recording showing a piece of art going from a completely blank canvas all the way to a finished illustration. It's basically the unofficial standard for proving that an artist made their art from scratch. So, in an attempt to prove that she was not using AI, Asami uploaded 2 time-lapse videos using Clip Studio Paint, a professional illustration program used by lots of artists. Now, here's the specific issue Teru raised. In both time-lapses, the line work showed up on screen with no visible sketch underneath it, no corrections, no hesitation, no erasing whatsoever. The line just appeared fully formed from start to finish. Teru argued that Clip Studio Paint's recording feature doesn't work like that because once you start recording, the software is supposed to capture literally every stroke and every undo across every single layer, including the messy sketch phase basically every artist goes through before finalizing their work. Asami's first response was not really clear, she said. Practicing with beautiful lines after, without sketches and thick outlines, would make you proud to do it yourself, but people tend to misunderstand. I posted a new video. I hope it answers your questions. And her second response was that, yes, that's right. Actually, I erase and redo my drawings many times, but Clip Studio only records the video from where you last left off to speed up the drawing process. Many artists do that, and as I said, my computer is problematic, and I don't even know how to access the old PSDs and drawings. Unfortunately, I lost my drawings from 2017 onwards. As you can imagine, a lot of time has passed. But Teru said what Asami said about Clip Studio Paint was not true, because once you press the record time-lapse button, the only thing you can do is either export the file or stop the recording. The software does not stop itself mid-drawing. This was a fact. According to Teru, Asamiarts deleted both time-lapse videos after comments were made about them being traced from AI. And immediately after that, she posted a new time-lapse video. But this time, the time-lapse video was made in Procreate, a popular iPad drawing app, instead of Clip Studio Paint. Now, this software switch actually mattered a lot, and here is why. Procreate makes it much easier to hide entire layers, including any reference image or base you might be working from the final time-lapse export. Teru responded to the new time-lapse video by saying, "I'm sorry, but I cannot take this as proof that Asami isn't tracing because it was recorded in Procreate." She also provided a photo of the layers, but you can delete the trace image layer after you are done tracing. And again, a day after posting this time-lapse on Twitter, she deleted the 2 previous ones. I don't want to be nitpicky, but even in this new Procreate time-lapse, she never goes back to erase, adjust, or correct anything while sketching, lining, or shading. To back up her claim, Teru uploaded time-lapse videos from artists previously confirmed or strongly suspected of tracing AI images, and they had the same signature as Asamiarts: clean, no hesitation line work with no visible underdrawing anywhere. The argument was that this specific pattern shows up consistently across known tracing cases, and Asamiarts' time-lapse was no exception. But Teru did not stop with time-lapse videos. They went one step further and analyzed Asami's artworks to show that they contained AI errors. Talk about being thorough. Teru began by acknowledging that errors in artwork do not automatically mean it's AI. To quote them directly, "I try to not be nitpicky about errors in art, because human errors are a thing too, and I have seen people accuse accuse others of AI because of mistakes in their art that can be attributed to human error. It only becomes so evident when these mistakes happen on almost every single image, to the point all of them have at least one issue. So now that we know what makes AI errors stand out, let's analyze some of Asami's artwork. First, we have the art with a wrongly placed gun muzzle I mentioned earlier. It was pointed out as well. Also, why is there a hole at the back of the gun? Asami responded, I'm still not good at drawing weapons, so sorry if there are any weird parts. I looked at the reference and tried drawing something like it. Reacting to this in the Google Doc, Teru said, I just want to emphasize how ridiculous this error is. This is what I mean when I say AI users do not care about details or are unaware of their mistakes. You really saw the muzzle in the back and didn't think for a second that this guy is going to shoot himself. Assuming she doesn't know gun parts or how guns work, at least you would think that the big hole in a weapon is where the bullets come out of. Reacting to this, one user commented, the gun argument is wild. Like, imagine if someone drew a picture of a sword, but the handle for the sword was at the tip of it, and the sword was being gripped by the blade. Anyone could look at that and realize something is very wrong. While another user said, okay, but the gun one is so funny to me. Like, I feel like anyone who has even heard of a gun a few times or knows what it does would know the muzzle does not face the person holding it. Next were the errors in hair drawing. Here, you can see hair pieces that are not connected to the main hair. The thing with AI is that it makes errors that are really obvious if you pay close attention. Like here, you can see the hair looping into each other in a way that hair does not normally do, so it's an error that a human, more so a professional artist, will not easily make. Talking about this, Teru said, you will notice a lot of these issues will be hair errors, when the person who is tracing has no idea how hair strands work and is tracing over random hair chunks. This is what happens, looping or disjointed hair strands. Teru gave lots of examples of AI error in Asami's artworks, but I will show one more. Here, Teru pointed out that Asami did not bother to learn how to draw braids despite the character having a braided sweater. They explained that the braids were not part of the sketch, so the linear art began immediately, and there is only one instance where an area of the braid is redrawn or corrected, but the linear art is essentially still the same. There were no adjustments made. Reacting to this, one user commented, why did she pick the braided sweater as a character design? Laughing my ass out. The one thing that AI infamously never generates correctly. You truly do go noseblind to it. While another user said, what makes this situation even sadder is that Asami was doing digital drawing before she took up tracing AI art. If she had spent the time, effort, and dedication to draw, she could have adopted her own style and become a proper digital artist. Rather than working on self-growth, she opted to use generative AI to copy the homework and rob both herself and her consumers of creating and owning genuine pieces of art. Going back to the time-lapse videos, Teru said they reached out to Asami and made a simple request. And the request was, would you be okay drawing on a shared canvas at the same time with another artist using an online canvas website like magma.com? I believe this should clear up some of people's concerns because you will be drawing along someone else. The website works perfectly on an iPad and you can set the time and date. To which Asami responded and said, I don't need to keep proving myself over and over again because of what people say about me. I won't take part in the witch hunts or hate culture that start when people put themselves above others. The internet is a free place. You are free to believe whatever you want. If my previous time lapses didn't convince you, nothing I do now will. And honestly, I don't have to convince anyone. Throwing accusations online and demanding proof is just ridiculous. You would probably say, see, no reply, must be AI if I didn't respond. And if I block you, you would say the same. But no one owes people like that any explanation. You don't have to commission me or follow me. Asami was sure she did not need to prove herself to anyone, least of all to Teru, but the internet thought otherwise. Reacting to this, one user commented, my favorite part is when the accused artist is asked to join a live drawing channel to prove they are legit, and they indignantly respond, well, obviously, nothing I could possibly say or do will satisfy you right after being told exactly what they can do to prove they are legit. Like, yeah, there exist some people who will stick to their guns even if there's all the proof in the world because they have already made up their mind and can't be dissuaded. But come on, dude, just pick up the pencil. This comment represented the sentiment felt by most people on the internet. But Asami did not back down. She made another post targeted at Teru. This drama is not about AI or art. It's someone trying to destroy me with lies. Someone who argues with me and acts like judge, prosecutor, and executioner. What you see in the picture is the way this person attacks me. This is who you're supporting. I don't have to prove myself to anyone, but by supporting people like this, you're choosing what kind of person you are. You're doing a witch hunt, but I don't really enjoy tanning. While her own drawings don't even get 1,000 likes, her attacks get thousands of likes. Do you think this is about art? Teru's response to this basically called out Asami for deflecting instead of providing evidence. They said, this is not the first case of someone getting caught lying and immediately deflecting and accusing others of jealousy instead of providing evidence. In a last-ditch effort to save her reputation, Asami uploaded one last post. She said, "Long time ago, when I first opened my Etsy, my art really wasn't good. I even used the first cute picture I found online as my profile image. I didn't even know what AI was back then. And if you look at my old Etsy orders, you can clearly see I never delivered anything in that style anyway. I tried so many styles. I spent a long time experimenting, even copying the styles of artists I admired, because I was learning and trying to get my own style. I played with 3D posing tools like everyone else, using MMD to understand poses. I tried backgrounds from places like Pinterest or Google because I wasn't good at them yet, like downloading backgrounds from Pinterest and drawing characters on them myself. Eventually I realized none of that really felt like me. And yes, I still don't know how to draw guns. I honestly don't care. I can look up a reference, but to me they all look the same. So I just don't enjoy drawing them. Now I found my own style, something that finally feels like home, and I draw with confidence. Yet some people love acting like judges or lawyers online, looking for someone to tear down for attention. Sometimes it works on others, but I'm still here. And the reason I never talked about any of this before is simple. I needed time to see people's true faces. Some chose to follow the crowd without thinking, and honestly, it cleared my space in the best way. I don't regret anything I've done. My responses were exactly what they needed to be. I'm still here. Before speaking, try thinking for a moment. That goes for everyone. Asami included a time-lapse video at the end of this post that entirely changed the narrative in her favor. And for a brief moment, people began to wonder if there was truly any credibility to everything Teru said. In this 7-minute long time-lapse video, Asami did something she had not done in her previous time-lapse videos. She drew on a fresh canvas from start to finish, and she showed her entire process, mistakes and all. There was no sign of AI tracing, so it was starting to look like she was legit. People immediately turned on Teru. One user on X posted, "People are assholes, they think they're so smart," accusing actual talented, hardworking artists of AI. It's so funny seeing the haters in the quote retweets saying stuff like, "I don't actually care," when proven wrong. But not everyone was easily convinced. Another user on X posted, "This does not really prove you have not been using AL at all. You simply are not using it here. We all know you can draw, but proof, especially the gun error, shows you resort to AL to make the process of drawing faster without informing anyone and your clients about that part." Asami immediately replied and said, "Are you okay? I made this drawing in just an hour and a half. Do you really think I need this?" So it went from this is AI to of course you know how to draw. Really a comedy show or just people unable to handle it? At this point, the accusation shifted from just AI tracing to using AI to write her post as well. One user on X said, "This drama isn't about AI or art. It's someone trying to destroy me with lies, someone who argues with me. Why does this part sound like it's written by ChatGPT? Girl, it's getting worse. Apologizing is easier." Asami responded by saying, "All the people in the world should apologize to you for not knowing that all the people in the world do not speak English. I'm sorry. I guess your next comment will be, why do you use Google? Oh, sorry. Why was the internet invented?" During this period, Teru stopped posting, so it was another artist that noticed that something was off with the time-lapse video. The artist made a post saying, "Very interesting looking color wheel you are using here, laughing my ass out." Almost immediately, another artist quoted and said, "Dude, are we dead ass?" She chroma-keyed out the green to hide the AI underneath. When it was revealed that the video was chroma-keyed, everything fell apart for Asami. Chroma-key is basically a video editing technique used to isolate and remove a single solid color from footage. It is commonly known as a green screen. One user explained how Asami used it in a comment on X. She is tracing an image that she edited to be fully green and is invisible to the camera because she edited the camera and video not to pick up green color. So when you see the color slider where the green is supposed to be on the spectrum of colors, it's gray or invisible. Teru eventually spoke about the issue again, and they brought more clarity on how Asami used the chroma key filter to fool a lot of people and almost got away with it. Teru explained that when Asami was zooming in and out on the sketch, the chroma key became visible. It turned out that the video that was supposed to vindicate Asami completely was the final piece of evidence that completely exposed her AI tracing habits. Finally, Teru told Asami, "I don't care if you generate AI images. I don't care if you want to trace AI instead of learning how to draw either. Some people genuinely don't mind and will still follow you. But if you are going to charge people money for it, you should be upfront about it instead of going this far to hide it." This was exactly why so many people in the art community were bothered about Asami's work and a legit reason for getting her cancelled. And while everything was going on, VGen quietly banned Asamiarts from their platform for violating their no AI policy without giving any public statement. Asami changed her handle on X from @Asamiarts to @AsamiHozuki. Although she still has over 80,000 followers, her account has not been active since 2025. She deleted all her posts related to Teru and the AI accusations. She blocked every single person who tried to talk about it. One user on X posted, "That was lightning quick," posted the doc in a retweet and got blocked near instantly. The thing is, the actions of Asamiarts and other AI tracing artists was affecting the entire community, including hardworking and talented artists. As this person put it, for me, it's not even that AI art is rampant, it's that actual artists come under fire now because their art styles might cause discrepancies with people checking if it's AI, and it's really sad. I agree, it's really sad that Asami ripped off her clients for years, but thanks to Teru, her career is finally over.